Hey, it's Melina, and it's Tuesday night, and this is our mini training. But if you're hanging out in my group, you maybe already know. Tonight's mini training is a little meaty. Clearly, I don't know how to do a mini training. I only know how to do the meaty ones, but thanks so much for being here. If you are watching right now, you're on the replay, go ahead and type replay in the comments so that I know that you stopped by. Also, while you're doing that, why don't you share this with your team group, share it with your business bestie, share it wherever you want to share it, but share the love because sharing is caring. I'm excited for tonight's training in honor of our football theme. I am wearing my Panteras shirt. So I'm a fan of the NFL team, the Carolina Panthers. And I got this shirt a year or two ago. I guess it was during Hispanic Heritage Month. All right. So tonight's training is called the Direct Sales Playbook. It is football themed. I'm going to throw some football lingo in there. I'm going to try not to go off on too many football tangents, but I love football. I started watching football. I mean, I probably watched it off and on throughout my childhood, but I really developed a love for professional football probably in 2003, the 2003-2004 season. I was following my Carolina Panther team's journey to the Super Bowl. I watched them lose the Super Bowl. I've watched them lose a couple of Super Bowls. It just comes with the territory of being a Panthers fan. What's up? Welcome on in. So yeah, really love football. And once I started understanding how the game worked, I just wanted to tell everybody. So I was having a coaching chat week before last with one of my coaching clients, and I don't know what she said, but we were talking about me coming in her team group to do a training, and it just hit me. So it's like I got hit in the face with a football and had this genius idea that we were going to have a football themed training. So here we are, very excited to talk to you. So let's just keep it moving. So I'm welcoming you into this training. This is our mini training camp. So here's the exciting thing. You are the number one draft pick. Whether you drafted yourself into direct sales or into your business, or you were kind of forcibly drafted by a friend or family member, you're here. So I'm going to share lots of really good information because I want to help you have your very best season ever. Who's excited about that? Anybody? I just turned up the volume. So if it gets a little louder on you, that's why. So we're going to talk about showing up for training camp, attending your practices, watching film, because that's really important, and leading the huddle. And most importantly, winning the game. We want to win, right? I want you all to have a super, super successful season at the end of this year, or at the end of your company's year, because I know the company I came from, the last day of the year for us was June 30th. So your season might be longer, your season might be shorter, depending on kind of where you're measuring and where you're tracking, what your goal is and what your deadline is. But either way, I want you to have a super successful season. So this Direct Sales Playbook, it's really for you to decide. It's going to be your daily actions, and it's going to be your business systems. And I talked a lot about systems in my systems lab training. If you did not attend that, well, it's coming back in January, so save the date. It's going to be just as meaty, maybe meatier, but I love to talk about business systems because the reality is, in your business, it is more than just sharing your products and just sharing your opportunity. If you're in a company where you can build a team, like there's so many things on the back end that nobody necessarily realizes you are doing to keep your business running, to keep things moving. And so having really good systems, like this is not a systems training, but I feel very called to talk a little bit about it for a second, because if you have been flying by the seat of your pants, if you've not been playing with a playbook, you're going to have a really, really tough time achieving your goals this season. Not impossible. Have I been successful in my business when life was chaos and I was flying by the seat of my pants? Sure. Was it maybe not so enjoyable? What's up, Janica? Yeah, it maybe wasn't the most enjoyable time in my business. I don't know anyone who necessarily loves to fly by the seat of their pants. Spontaneity is one thing, but feeling like you don't have all your ducks in a row, or as I like to say, you're pooping in group, like not a fun feeling. So if you're like, whoa, okay, she said a lot of words that I really needed to hear, like, you can't pause for 3 months to figure out all your systems. You might have to figure it out as you go. But this is like my strong like soapbox moment to say, like, figuring them out now, because we're going into, in my opinion, the best season of the year, or the best time of the year for your business. It doesn't matter what you sell. I'm willing to bet you sell a giftable product. I'm willing to bet that you sell a product that solves problems. That's a little throwback to my Yo I Solve It training that we did last month. Like, you sell something that solves problems for people, and this is we're going into such a busy time. People will be traveling. People will be gift shopping, not just for the holidays, but just like so many occasions. But people will be having, guests over into their home. And so, like, getting your ducks in a row, your systems in place, and getting your game plan, getting all that wrapped up into your playbook, it's going to make it just business more enjoyable. I want you to have joy in the journey. You cannot spell journey without joy. Okay, so here's some of your daily actions. So prospecting, which would be finding new teammates or fans. Those are people who love your product, love you, and can't live without what you're offering. You want to share your product. You want to actually run your plays. So whether that's, online through parties, I am going to keep talking about parties because I do not believe that they are dead. I believe that they are different. We can't party the same way that we did 5 years ago. We cannot party maybe necessarily the same way that we did 2 years ago. Attention spans are shorter, and people don't want fluff. And I am people, so I'm speaking on behalf of the masses. We don't want fluff. We want to learn what we need to know, like quick, easy. We want to be entertained. We want to know where to go buy it. And we want to know how it's going to make our lives better. And then we kind of want to move on. So I think I've said this a couple of times, but I am working through a online party formula. It's going to have some elements that you're used to, but I'm really thinking through, like, how is it, number one, the very best experience for the guest, the people who don't want all the fluff, but also how is it fun for you? And I feel like it's a triangle, because more importantly, the most important part of it. Hey, Carol, I saw you say hi, and then I didn't say anything in the moment, but I wanted to acknowledge it. Probably the most important part, and anyone who disagrees, please challenge me, but having a host who's willing to do their part. Nothing chaps my bottom more than seeing someone make a post on social media. Hey, I've got 5 spots open for parties, or I've got 2 spots open for parties, and I do all the work. No, direct sales consultant. No. Social seller. You do not do all the work. The host has a job too. Okay, anyways, wow, y'all are getting me like so on my soapbox right now. Apologies. And I also need to confess that I have not had soda in 2 days. I'm just on the water, and I don't know if this is like the effects of like the toxins leaving my body, but I actually have never felt better than I feel right now. Okay, so back to sharing your product. So online parties, in-person parties, I believe those still have a place too. Vendor events, live selling, whether that's on TikTok or on Facebook. I would love to know, is anyone here doing any form of live selling? Did I cover all the ways? Well, I didn't say like just one-on-one selling, like meeting up with a friend at the coffee shop, or some other place where you can get a fun beverage and letting them, smell, try, see your product. That one-on-one selling is still, I think there's still a place for that too. Like actually talking to people in real life. Oh my gosh. What a concept. Okay, we're also going to talk about following up, keeping you in the drive. So some of that is, with prospects, some of that is with customers closing the sale. That's how you score your points. And then customer care. Oh, if you spent more than 5 minutes with me, this is where I get real geeked out, like customer service and customer experience. Like that's everything. That's everything to me. Making sure that people feel like good about doing business with you. Customer service, customer follow up, the experience you give your customers, all of that, super important. And I hope it's in your playbook. All right. So now you need to know your role. So you, my friend, are the quarterback. You are leading your business, leading the team, and you're calling the plays. So I like to say you're the boss. This is just another way of saying you're the boss. And it's really important that, that you're showing up on game day, that you're prepared. Oh my gosh, who's excited? It's about to get a little more football-y now. Okay, so your upline is the coach. They are going to lead by example and guide you with strategies, point you in the direction of resources. They're hopefully sharing something motivational or inspirational in their team groups, because sometimes you just need to read a quote and be like, yeah, I can do this. Okay, so your team consists of anyone that actually joins your team, but also those customers that are falling in love with what you sell and supporting you in your business journey. So think about that. For anyone who's like, oh, I don't have anyone on my team, so I don't have a team. But guess what? You actually do. If you've sold a product to anybody in your business, they are now part of your metaphorical team. They're with you. And then your company resources and me, I threw myself in there. We're your sideline support staff. We're the trainers, the medics, and the cheerleaders. And I try to show up real heavy on the cheerleading side. So let's talk about being the MVP. Are you the most valuable player? And you're like, wait, Melina, you just told me I'm the quarterback. So I'm like, aren't I the only player? In theory, yes, you are. Actually, you are the only player. But you might not be the MVP. Depends on how you're showing up for your business. And I'll tell you, there were plenty of times in my business that I was not acting like the MVP. I was faking injury, not literally, figuratively, faking injuries so that I could take myself out of the game. I was putting myself on the sidelines. I was letting other people make the big plays. So yeah, I wasn't always the MVP. So being the MVP is a mindset. So here's some ways to be the MVP, and we're going to go into these on the next slide. You attend training camp. Really important. When you're drafted to an NFL team, there are like 3 or so weeks of training camp where you're showing up, you're learning plays, you're running plays, getting in time with the overall team. So we'll talk about what that means for your business in just a second. You got to show up for practice. You've got to watch tape or watch film, and you've got to lead the huddle. You're the quarterback, you lead the huddle. So let's talk about long term. Are you staying consistent by playing all 4 quarters? And I have really super, super strong feelings about direct sales burnout. I felt it, so I know that it's real. So I'm never going to be the one telling you, you got to work this thing, 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. You don't get holidays. You don't get days off. You've got to just grind. My business is heart and hustle, not hustle and heart, for a very important reason, because I do believe that you need to work hard. Of course, anything worth having is worth working for, but you should not run yourself into the ground. The whole concept and idea behind direct sales is that you're supposed to be able to fit the business in to the nooks and crannies of your life. Now, yes, if you're working on a serious goal, you might have to put in more hours. But I feel very strongly that you should not like forego all the other areas of your life because you have to work your business or you feel pressured to. My business, no matter what it is, like, it comes second to family. Family first. I believe very strongly in that. I say all that to say, like, you do need to show up consistently. I think doing something for your business every day is good. Take Sundays off if that, feels right. Or you may have a very, very, very different lifestyle to where you're like, working my business consistently is 3 days a week, and that's cool. You get to define what it is for you. But what I'm trying to like impress upon you is like you can't work your business one day and then take 3 weeks off and think I'm consistent. No, you're not. And a lot of people start, stop, and then at the end of their season wonder like, well, why didn't I hit my goal? And it's clear to me, but it's not always clear to them. So hopefully it's okay that I said that out loud. I say everything I say with love. Please know that. We're going to get into training camp, practice, the huddle, and watching film. So training camp is plugging into training resources. So guess what? You guys are here right now watching this, whether you're live or on the replay. So you are like, we're putting a check mark next to training camp for you because you're showing up to learn something, to be better in your business. Plug into your company trainings, plug into gals like me. I try to go live almost every Tuesday. I try to bring something that I think will be helpful to help you move your business forward. So now let's move to practice. So, okay. Practice is actually, in this scenario, not practice at all. This is really the real thing. And this is income producing activities. So your practice is making sure that the things that you are spending your time on, the bulk of your time, are the things that will actually move your business forward, actually let you see sales, sharing your business opportunity if you are in a company where you can build teams. Things that will ultimately help you achieve your goals. I don't care how cute, like if you sell a consumable product, I don't care how cute your samples are. I don't think they're giving away prizes for cutest samples. Samples can be an income producing activity when you put them in the hands of someone and you get their contact info to follow up. So I'm not saying don't make samples. You absolutely should. But you can't spend 40 hours a week making samples and then wonder like why you didn't sell anything. Does that make sense? Okay, let's move over to the huddle. This is me and Matt. We're in a huddle right now. I leaned in for y'all. Okay, so your huddle time. This is your CEO time. So if you were in the systems lab training, we talked a little bit about this. And your CEO time is like, that's your thinking time. That's when you're, strategizing. That's when you're planning, organizing. It's not gonna be necessarily income producing time, but it is still very necessary in your business. It's a time for you to look at, okay, where am I spending my time, my energy, and where am I spending my money? And is what I'm spending my money on, is it yielding me anything? That's really important. It's so easy, and I was guilty of it in both my companies, that it's like every new cute thing that like every tote they would sell, I'm like, oh, I need it. I can carry my samples in this, or I can carry, product in this when I'm making deliveries or whatever. Like, It's so easy to just see all those things and think, oh, it's just $10, it's just $20, it's no big deal. And then at the end of the year, like, oh my gosh, I spent $1,000 on totes and things. So use that CEO time to really evaluate, like I said, where are you spending your time, your attention, and where are you spending your money? Look at, any subscriptions you have, anything you're paying for recurring, and like make sure that you're using it. Definitely make sure that you're using it and make sure that it is valuable. Okay. And now let's talk about watching films. So that is when you pause. You can do it at the end of the month, at the beginning of a new month, and say, okay, how did I show up for my business last month? What income producing activities did I do? Like, did I have parties? Did I live sell? Did I do vendor events? Like really like looking at the numbers, looking at what, your performance, what you achieved, your stats, and comparing it with your goals and saying like, okay, am I on track? Like I am such a big believer in tracking to whatever it is you're working towards. Quick plug for my little freebie trackers out on the shop. They're sales trackers. I updated them for fall. They're really stinking cute. And I think I should probably print my own out and do some coloring. I've almost filled up one of them for this month, which is exciting. But it's like so important to have that visual of the goals that you're working on. Like I'm such a visual person. I don't know if anyone else can relate. If you're a visual person, type visual because the comments are a little delayed. So if you just say like, yeah, me too, I don't know if I'll know what you're talking about. The fun of technology. But you've got to kind of look at that because here's the thing. The season is full of mini games. So my Carolina Panthers just lost their first game. If their goal is the Super Bowl, now I don't know if it is, but if their goal is the Super Bowl, they've got to look at what happened that first game, what needs to be like, what changes do we need to make? Where do we need to focus our attention? Like, what did we not do that we should have done? Or what did we not do well that we need to work on? So taking that time every month to really like sit down and look at it, like have that honest conversation with yourself. Like, okay, this is what I was trying to do. And here's what I actually did. Like, if the numbers aren't lining up, then that's your opportunity to reassess and make a new plan for the next month. So I expect my team to win next week. I'm expecting that they are in Charlotte right now, down the road from me. Like, well, they're probably not at practice right now. They're probably at home. But Tuesdays are practice day for them. I do know that. So I am expecting that today they were on the practice field working on the things they did wrong. Sound good? Okay. All right, let's keep it moving. All right, so we're going to talk about the end zone. This is field goal, but we're going to pretend. End zone. I mean, at the end of the end zone, there are the field goal posts. So this is where you get to define what your wins look like, what success looks like for you. I feel so strongly that, and this is a horse analogy, but like you've got to put your blinders on. You've got to run your own race. It is so easy to look to either side of you and see what other people are doing and compare it to what you're doing. And I'm here to tell you, don't do that. In the nicest way possible, don't do that because like comparison is the thief of joy. So I encourage you to keep your blinders on. We'll talk about it in football terms. You put your helmet on and you've got the sun blocker. So keep the sun out of your eyes. Don't worry about what everybody to the left and right is doing. Don't worry about who can run, the 40-yard dash or whatever faster than you. This isn't a race. We're here for the long game. My goal, I'm just going to throw out a number. So when I was in the field, my goal was at minimum $1,000 in sales every month. But I was working towards an annual sales goal, which caused me to have to bump it up a little. So my new goal was like $1,417. There were times that I didn't hit it. There were times that I hit it, times that I exceeded it, but every month the top 50 list came out and I was not always on it. Just keeping it real. And the people who were selling double, triple, quadruple what I was. It would have been very easy for me to say, you know what? I give up. I give up. My goals go. I'm just putting my goal back down to 1,000. Like, I can't take this anymore. But achieving that sales consistency award was really important to me. It was more than just the money, it was the accomplishment. It was, you know, what it really meant, which was sharing my product with a lot of people and helping a lot of people have amazing smelling homes. Like, that's pretty exciting. When someone's house smells good because of you, I don't know. And it felt kind of brag worthy for me. I was like, ooh, go me. Another house smells good. But it was also like the feeling of achieving a goal that I set out to achieve. Like, that's a great feeling. And to me, greater than the money, greater than the income. Saying I'm going to do this and then doing it. Whew, big deal. Okay. So you get to decide for yourself what success looks like. No one gets to decide what your goals are for you. And I mean that. No one else gets to decide. You get to decide because this is your journey. This is no one else's journey. I will encourage you, as when you when you hit the end zone, or even if you come a little short, but you feel good about how far you got, you celebrate it. You celebrate every win. That's why at the end of the month, watching tape and looking at what you did for the month, like, that's a big deal. Because sometimes, what do they say? You can't see the forest for the trees or something like that. Like, until you pause and really look at it, like, you might be like, oh, this month didn't go my way. But then you're like, wait. But look what I did. Look how much time I was able to put into my business and look what I got out of it. Like, that's really exciting. And that should be celebrated. I didn't know I was going to be so fired up tonight, but I kind of like it. Okay, so this is our post-game wrap-up. So we talked a little bit about this, but we're gonna end with this. And then if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask away, whether you're watching live or watching the replay. I want to hear from you. Okay, so you end each season or each month by looking at your stats. So your sales, I think it's even worthwhile to track, like, how many new followers or group members or customers you have. Looking at, did you add any team members that month? How many sponsoring conversations did you have? Celebrating your progress. Every yard counts. Promise me you'll celebrate, please. And promise me that, like, you'll let me celebrate with you. I want to know what's going on. And then set new goals or reassess the current goal and see where you need to make some tweaks. Thank you. Like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to not shout those out, type them. Other thing is, I also put a link for something new that I'm starting for leaders. It's called the Leader Lowdown. I don't think I've sent out the first email yet, but I am going to be sending, like, probably just once a month, something special for leaders. And I don't care if you have one team member or a million. I am not a leader by my company's definition. I don't care if you can join the Leader Lowdown even if you're the only one on your team. I don't care. But if you're like, yeah, I'd really like some encouragement and tips, tools, resources for leading my team, then join that list. Promise not to overfill your inbox, because nobody likes that. I'll be probably working on something to go out in the next week or so. And I will just do a tiny quick plug for something that is new in the shop that has been there for a couple weeks and I haven't talked about it, because every time I went live, I was like, this is not the time to talk about it. But for anyone who is leading a team and is struggling with what to train on, I don't know if anyone here can relate to that, but that was like such a hard thing for me. And I feel like I'm pretty good at like coming up with ideas, but I'm like, oh my gosh, we just talked about like goal setting like 3 months ago, and now I'm going to talk about it again. But sometimes you do. Sometimes you repeat topics because new people come in or people hear it with fresh ears. But I created something called the leader menu. It's super cute and food themed because I really like food. It's got a list of 40 plus training topics. Some of them are mini, truly mini topics. Some of them are meaty, but you can do them snackable or stackable. You can put a couple together to build out your team meeting. I also shared some tips for a successful team meeting, and I shared a very simple meeting planner, something to help you plan out your meeting so that you feel like prepared and ready and good about delivering whatever topic you decide to share. That's all I got. So thanks so much for hanging out with me. Those of you who stayed the whole time, y'all are the MVPs. I wish I had some pom poms. But yeah, you guys have a great rest of the week. We'll do this again next Tuesday night. It's not going to be a football themed topic, it'll be something fun. And I hope you have the most amazing selling season ever. All right. Bye, friends.